Welcome to the Tech Matchmaker, the show where contact center challenges meet their perfect tech match. I'm your host, Gina Gibson, and in just 15 minutes, we serve up the smartest, coolest innovations shaking up the contact center industry. Whether you're searching for your next solution or just love staying ahead of the curve, we've got the insights to keep you in the know. Let's dive in and discover what's next. I promise you, it's going to be fun. Good afternoon, everybody. We are chatting today with Jill Fecher, the Director of Sales and Marketing at ZIZO, about gamified performance enablement. Jill, welcome to the podcast. It's great to see you again.
It's great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. Jill, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? And I always like to ask, what's one thing about you that's maybe not on LinkedIn, just to let our viewers get to know you a little bit better?
Well, I love that. So I have a 20 plus year career in sales and marketing. I started at ZIZO a little over a year ago, and I've loved getting into this space of call center technology. So that's exciting to me. And one thing that people may not know about me is that I love to tap dance. So I'm an adult tap dancer with I take classes at a studio that I went to growing up, and about 5 years ago, they created an alumni class. And so once a week, I get together with 20 or so of my friends that are in their 40s that we all just like to tap together.
That's fantastic. What a great hobby to have. I love it. Do you want to give us your elevator pitch for ZIZO, Jill?
I would love to. So, ZIZO is a performance management tool for call centers that we use behavioral science and gamification to engage your call center agents, to get them working harder, more productive, and most importantly, decrease attrition. We know that that's one of the biggest problems in the call center space today and with all frontline workers is getting people who want to work and getting them staying at your company. So, we are an attrition buster and we turn those disengaged teams into motivated, goal crushing powerhouses.
I love it. What makes your platform different than your competitors? What makes you stand out?
And so a lot of people think about gamification as just anything you can add a leaderboard to, right? Or anything you can earn points. And of course, we have those features. But what makes us different is we're really driven by human behavioral science. So we've studied what motivates people, what types of things in a platform could get them more productive, what gets them more engaged, and how that's going to work. So every feature and solution that you see is really driven by outside science and scientific studies.
How is AI changing the behavior of agents today? Like, how are you seeing, or are you seeing that as any impact today?
So, there's a lot of tools out there that use AI that can change the way that they work, become more efficient, and become smarter with it. But I think, like we've seen with all sorts of tools, the agent experience is just you have to keep their attention. So, everyone's attention span is shorter. They want answers quicker. They want to be able to do their job easier. So, AI is just changing that and giving people all sorts of solutions that can help them. One of the things that people are a little bit afraid about with AI is just getting the wrong answers or being non-compliant. Our solution doesn't do any of those things, but we do use AI to give managers coaching insights to help them manage faster and easier, spend a lot less time running reports, analyzing them. Our platform gives them ways to just say, struggling today with X, Y, and Z, why don't you go over to her and talk to her about this? Give her this advice, help her do this. And it just bubbles up those insights to make it really easy for managers to scale.
I love that. And I'm sure one of the other answers that, your people that use your product want to know about is the ROI, right? Like, how do you measure the ROI on your platform for both the employee engagement side as well as business outcomes?
Sure. So it's a really easy formula that we use. Our value is decreasing attrition, increasing productivity, and that's where the ROI comes in, minus the cost of ZIZO. So what we do with any prospect that we're talking to is first determine the cost of their problem. So a typical call center will come to me and say, we're hiring 25 people every month. 23 show up on day one. By
Yeah.
the end of the week, maybe we have 18. By the end of week 2, we have 12. And we're lucky if by the end of a 30-day training program, if we still have 3 to 5 people left. And we're lucky at the end of 90 days if we have one of those people left. And we do it again and again and again every month. And so we talk to them and say, well, what's the cost of that? What's the cost of those hires for 30 days that never make it to the call center floor because they're in training or they're going, in that program? Typically, we find that the average cost is anywhere between 4,000 up to 10 or $15,000, especially for call centers that have highly regulated environments where they need background checks, more extensive training, those types of things. What we do is we say, okay, you're losing 20 agents within that first month. That is 20 times 5,000. That's $100,000 problem every month. Can reduce that in half, we're saving you $50,000. And our solution is a fraction of that price. So we're able to show our clients within 30, 60, 90 days of using our platform that they're getting 1,000% ROI even within that first month. Another way that we look at it from a business outcomes is productivity. So one of the industries that we work with in the call center space quite a bit is collections. And that's a really easy one because it's revenue generated. So if they're bringing in $10,000 a month in collections on average, and we're able to increase their productivity just by, you know, 10%, you can easily do that math by how many agents that they do to see from a productivity improvement standpoint, how much more money we're bringing in. And we're able to see on average that we're increasing profitability by at least 25% for each of our clients.
That's incredible. You mentioned collections, Jill. Is there any other verticals that you shine in, or is there any that, this is where like sales, collections, we do really well in? Are there any verticals you don't play in?
We're pretty industry agnostic, but I would say that our 3 criteria are really a large workforce. So 10 or more agents all doing the same thing every day and having those repetitive tasks and KPIs that we can measure. So whether they're in customer service, phone sales, collections, any of those work great for us.
That's fantastic. Do you want to talk a little bit about one of your success stories and maybe any of your unique features that ZIZO has that your customers kind of constantly rave about?
Sure, sure. So we look to reward and recognize the employees every single day with what they're doing. And one of the unique things about us is that we make contests and gamification objective and fair and inclusive for the whole team. So a lot of call centers will say, "Oh, I already run contests. I don't need a platform to do that for me." But what we typically see is that people will run a contest and say, "My top salesperson this month is going to get 2 tickets to this NFL game," or "But our top salesperson is going to get this TV." And that goes across for customer service, maybe the top customer, survey scores that they got, whatever that is. And what ends up happening is the top 3 to 5 people win every single month. And it actually demotivates 90% of your staff because they're thinking, well, I just started. There's no way I can compete with Gina. She's a rock star. And so we give a lot of mechanisms that allow you to use micro rewards each and every day and motivate everyone across a variety of KPIs, not just the end result. We want to measure behavioral KPIs where you're saying time and attendance. Are they showing up? Are they working their hours? Are they being compliant? Effort-based KPIs. Are they making the outbound calls that we want them to? Are they available when they're supposed to be? And then the skill-based KPIs come with that. So when you're putting in the effort, you're doing the behaviors that we want, we know you're building those skills to get the results. And so we're rewarding them all along that journey and giving everyone opportunities to win every single day, week, month, so that the top performers still always end up getting rewarded the most. Your bottom performers earn the least of the rewards, but that everyone has a chance to win and be recognized. So that's something really unique and that our clients really love. So they see that and they get excited about it. Another thing that one of our more recent clients that just joined a few months ago, what they've found success in is that we have a way for agents to challenge each other. So they'll use that feature quite a bit, and they found that that has really built not just the business outcomes that they're looking for, but this culture of camaraderie and teamwork and kind of this fun competition. So they'll say, "Hey, Gina, I bet I can collect more than you this week." And they'll bet each other. And so that makes it a lot more fun. It's not just driven from the top down, but from peer to peer as well.
And that's kind of a way maybe you guys hadn't thought of as far as a motivator and the client thought of that on their own.
Yeah. Well, and we had it as a feature, but just certain cultures gravitate to that more than others. And so we didn't think that was going to be the top thing that they love, but they love it because it also takes a little bit of heat off the managers because the agents are challenging each other.
Absolutely. How do you see the future of gamification evolving, Jill, in the workplace? And we're hybrid, we're remote, we're back in the office. It's a combination of everything. How do you see the future kind of playing out?
So I think that there's a lot of opportunities for many different types of customers to do this, or many different types of companies, sorry. And everything is starting to be gamified. And it's one of those things where people will look at it and go, "Oh, that seems fun for the younger generation." And really, I think it speaks to all generations. And that's why we talk about being science-based and working in behavioral science, because we've studied that across every generation, every age group. No one's exempt from human behavior, right? So as it evolves, I see more and more things being gamified and getting customers involved as opposed to just employees. One of the examples that I like to use when people say, "Oh, this is only for those younger generations," is the Peloton. There's been stationary bikes for decades and they
Yes.
cost a couple $100. And during the pandemic, everyone our age got hooked on the Peloton because
Yeah.
they added a leaderboard and they started spending thousands of dollars for the same stationary bike you could have bought for $200 10 years ago. So that's just one example where it's not just young people getting engaged. People like to be rewarded. They like to be recognized in whatever way that ends up happening.
I love that example, and it's so true. I am guilty of being one of those people that bought the Peloton during COVID.
Exactly, right?
Just as we wrap up, Jill, is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know or learn about ZIZO before we
So I think what people should know, as I've said, it's very science driven. We've studied this extensively and not just from our own results, but from outside sources of what motivates people and engages people. And so don't just think of it as, I don't know if I like gamification. I don't know if people would like this that would stick with us. What you need to think of is your call center focused on improving your attrition rates. Do you have turnover? Example resonate with you where you're hiring every single month and churning those people out and just trying everything you can think of to get them to stick around? Because we have great results and it pays for itself within a month. And so, your whole year's investment will pay for itself in a month in attrition. So, think of it in terms of your problem, and that's what we're here to solve.
I love it. And Jill, I've always been a fan of James Lipton. So to end the podcast, we do some rapid fire.
Love
What
it.
is your favorite word?
Oh, my favorite word. Okay, I love the words, they kind of relate to each other, but I love the word serendipity and I love the word coincidence because they're kind of the same thing, like little happy surprises. It always delights me when I find things in common with people or times our paths would have crossed, and it just gives me a little excitement every day.
What is your least favorite word?
Mm. Okay. Not necessarily the word itself, but I think something that is overused and that I hear all the time is when people say, "I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm too busy." And it's like a race to see who's the busiest person. Whenever I say something like, "Oh, I'm really busy that day," I'm always like, "No, chill." Like you hate when other people say that. But it's just this culture of busyness that we have. And so, as AI tools come in and can help you do your work, as you can prioritize and have that mental work-life balance, I just always want to cure everyone's busyness.
I love it. I love it. What excites you the most?
I am a huge reader and I read constantly and I love to start a new book. And I love when a book shocks me. Like if I laugh out loud or I cry or I'm like, I didn't think that was going to happen. It just that I love that. I love stories and I love books.
Wonderful. And if somebody wants more information, Jill, about using ZIZO, who should they call?
So you can call Gina and she can help you connect to me, or you can call me directly, Jill Fecher at ZIZO, and my email is jill@zizo.ai. So easy
Excellent.
to remember.
Perfect. A big thank you, Jill, for joining us today and sharing your insights. It was a pleasure spending time with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Tech Matchmaker. I hope today's spotlight sparks some fresh ideas and real solutions for your contact center. Want to dive deeper into the tech we featured? Hit up the show notes for all the links and extras, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if there's a challenge you want us to tackle, don't be shy, reach out. I'll catch you soon with more innovation, more use cases, and more ways to keep your business moving forward. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep exploring what's next.